I am Tanya Jaswal from Prayatan organization, and we are having this conversation with Buddha Aditya Das, Dr. Buddha Aditya Das. He is a professor at Ambedkar University, Delhi, of School of Human Ecology. So, sir, I would request you to tell me a bit about yourself and about your career path, like about your academic and research path, and what drew you towards taking a path in ecology and forest communities and livelihood.
So yeah, thank you, Tanya, for inviting me to this podcast, and thank you to Prayatna for organizing this. So as you said, I teach in this interdisciplinary department of human ecology at the School of Human Ecology at Ambedkar University. And I think if I had to look back and trace how I came to be teaching in this sort of field, there are two things really. One is that I had excellent teachers. A big shout out to all my teachers throughout my BA, my MA, my MPhil, and of course then my PhD. Because one of the things that drew me to academics and research and teaching was the fact that I every day saw these great teachers standing in front of you in the class, inspiring you with their ideas, with their how they were in their professional lives. So that was one thing I think that sort of decided for me that I wanted to become a teacher myself.
So, sir, my second question would be, what are your views on how does access to basic infrastructure like lighting intersect with issues like dignity, equity, and ecological justice in rural India?
Right. So I think that's a very important question, and I'd just like to, if you give me some time, I'll just like to expand, zoom out, and sort of give you the what is at stake here. Yeah, what are we talking about? So, firstly, if you look at the national data and the National Sample Survey Organization periodically conducts surveys on things like issues to access to lighting and energy, and if you look at the data set, I mean, it's a bit dated. I was looking at the NSS data for access to energy and lighting for rural households. And it says that, overall, all India, about 73%, 75% have access to electricity.
Oh, no.
And 25% don't, right? And of course, this is a bit, I'm talking about the NSS hasn't done this data exercise for some time, so it's around 7-8 years old I'm talking about, but the numbers would not have changed much, right? So we're talking about an all India average where 75 or let's say 80% or 85% of households have electricity, others sort of don't, right? And when you're looking at states like Bihar and Uttar Pradesh and Assam, the percentages are even higher. I understand that your project is in Uttar Pradesh, right?
Right.
So we are talking about a fact that the large parts of the rural India still lack access to electricity, right? Although of course the government has been pushing for rural electrification. There is a Pradhan Mantri Sehaj Bijli Ghar Yojana which sort of aims at 100%
providing electricity.
But we still don't have that. And even where there is electrification, one of the things to understand is that what do we mean by having access to electricity, right? So if I can operate a light bulb, let's say, or I'm getting power like 4 hours a day. Would you call that having access to electricity? Right? We lead electrified lives. We cannot actually imagine our lives, right? Think of the sort of our education, our jobs, our economy, everything is sort of so connected to electricity. Right? So in that situation, even having, let's say, just access to electricity a few hours a day or access to below a certain level of, wattage, it doesn't sort of really cut it. Right. So, for example, the World Bank, I was reading recently, has a multi-tiered framework for understanding access to electricity. It talks about, is the electricity, how much of it is available? Is it affordable? Is it adequate? Is it reliable? Is it safe? And is it sort of available in the amounts that a household typically needs? So the first thing is that this is what we are talking about. When we're talking about access to electricity, we are sort of really have to understand that this is what is at stake. And the truth, unfortunate, is that 75 years after independence, we still don't have it for many people. So now to now link it to justice, and so you said ecological justice or dignity. I'm actually it will be best if I kind of think of from my field work in Madhya Pradesh, and so especially when I started my field work, again I would always say that things have improved, things have changed.
So sir, my next question would be, what are some of the social or ecological shifts you have noticed in the region that have adopted decentralized energy models like solar lighting?
Right. Thanks, Tanya, for that question. I think, again, let us just zoom out and unpack this a little. When we're talking about electricity, so there are, of course, two kinds. One is that you're getting electricity from fossil fuels like coal, and which is the major source, thermal power. And the other is renewable energy, right? So solar, wind, etc., etc. The other difference is that whether it's an on-grid system, grid electrification, or off-grid, right? So large parts, the power distribution companies, they provide electricity to us through grid power, right? And then, what are called discoms, and each state has its own discom, and arrangement with a company that supplies electricity. They buy the electricity and supply it to the consumer. I will not be able to tell you the details of this. I'm not the sort of right person to do that. But I understand that one of the challenges of rural electrification is that many villages are remote, far away, and the cost of taking electricity through transmission lines is expensive, right?
Sure.
And for, which means that it's expensive, which means that power distribution companies, discoms, have to spend money to stretch the grid, take the power line, transmission line to that last point wherever this thing, and it's probably going through, it's a difficult terrain. It's not like city hai. So long terrain pe you have to take the sort of wire and overhead transmission cables and etc. So that increases the cost.
Okay.
The second thing is that in rural areas the demand is not so much. So it's not like people are consuming a lot of electricity and paying for it.
Right.
So overall, the challenge of rural electrification seems to be that power distribution companies don't want to invest in rural areas.
So sir, my next question is, अगर आपके पास 1 सेकंड है या फिर 1 मिनट है, तो आप CSR डोनर्स और गवर्नमेंट ऑफिशियल्स को क्या बोलोगे कि what would you urge them to consider before funding or designing solar projects in India?
Okay. अजय, 1 मिनट में बताना है, हाँ, CSR डोनर्स को दो चीज़ें, प्राइमरीली 2 चीज़ें. पहली, कंसल्टेशन. कम्युनिटी से बात करके, कम्युनिटी के साथ डिटेल्ड पार्टिसिपेटरी एक्सरसाइजेस करके फिर आप अपना सोलर प्रोजेक्ट लाओ. 90% of the time projects fail because the community is not involved. It is designed in a way that does not serve the needs of the community, and therefore it falls into disuse. कोई भी नया प्रोजेक्ट, कोई भी नया इंटरवेंशन, डेवलपमेंट सेक्टर में हम हमेशा देखते हैं लोग कहाँ लगाना है सोलर प्रोजेक्ट, स्ट्रीट लाइट्स कहाँ लगानी है, किस पार्ट में सबसे ज़्यादा अंधेरा है. यू डू कम्युनिटी कंसल्टेशन विद विमेन, विद चिल्ड्रन, डिफरेंट एज ग्रुप्स. पूछ के फिर करना चाहिए. ये नहीं सोच के करना चाहिए कि हमें पहले से सब कुछ पता है और वहाँ तो बस कम्युनिटी मेंबर्स लाइट लगाने की बात है या सोलर प्रोजेक्ट. दूसरी बात, एंड दिस इज मोर सॉर्ट ऑफ फॉर कंपनीज टू थिंक अबाउट, फॉर प्रयत्न थिंक अबाउट, आई थिंक द टाइम हैज कम फॉर कम्युनिटी ओन्ड रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी प्रोजेक्ट्स.
राइट.
RE प्रोजेक्ट्स स्पेशली यूरोप में हम बहुत अब देख रहे हैं, इंग्लैंड, अदर कंट्रीज इन यूरोप. रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी एक ऐसी तरह की एनर्जी है जिसको छोटे स्केल पे, कम्युनिटी के स्केल पे आप डिज़ाइन करके, इम्प्लीमेंट करके ऑपरेट कर सकते हो और कम्युनिटी के साथ शेयर होल्डर बेसिस पे कर सकते हो, है ना. क्योंकि आप कोयला सोचो तो कोई नहीं कह सकता कि एक गांव में कोयले की खदान कोई चला ले या उसकी माइनिंग, उससे थर्मल पावर प्लांट बना के उससे इलेक्ट्रिसिटी, इट्स नॉट पॉसिबल. तो आपकी बड़ी कंपनियां ही करेंगी. लेकिन सोलर पैनल या सोलर प्रोजेक्ट्स या विंड प्रोजेक्ट्स छोटे छोटे लग सकते हैं जिसमें गांव वालों की ओनरशिप हो सकती है. इट्स नॉट वेरी एक्सपेंसिव, राइट. और उससे जो इलेक्ट्रिसिटी बने वो गांव को जाए और जो सरप्लस इलेक्ट्रिसिटी हो वो ग्रिड से कनेक्ट होके द विलेजर्स कैन सेल इट एंड get back a profit. So I think community owned RE projects is something that people should really think about.
ओके सो सर अब लास्ट क्वेश्चन है, तो मैं ये पूछना चाहूँगी कि आपको क्या इंस्पायर करता है इतने ज़्यादा कॉम्प्लेक्स इश्यूज को मैनेज करने में और रूरल ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन के?
दो चीज़ें तान्या, एक तो पहली बात है कि एज अ टीचर बहुत सारी प्रेरणा, बहुत सारा इंस्पिरेशन स्टूडेंट से मिलता है। रोज़ आप क्लास में खड़े होते हो, यू कैन नॉट बी, आप निराश नहीं हो सकते। आपका काम है कि स्टूडेंट्स में भी आप होप जगाओ और स्टूडेंट्स को बताओ कि भाई आप जो एमए की पढ़ाई कर रहे हो, बीए की पढ़ाई कर रहे हो, उससे कुछ हो सकता है ना। तो एक तो यूनिवर्सिटी में पढ़ाने का मतलब है कि आपको कॉन्स्टेंटली होपफुल रहना ही है, और खासकर अपना ही एग्जांपल देख लो, यू आर अ प्रोडक्ट ऑफ दिस इंस्टीट्यूशन, यू हैव कम बैक आफ्टर 5 years एंड यू आर टॉकिंग टू मी इन दिस कैपेसिटी, दैट इज इटसेल्फ अ सोर्स ऑफ होप।
राइट,
कि आप जिसको आपने पढ़ाया है, जो आप पढ़ा रहे हो, उसका कुछ तो असर हो रहा है, आगे जाके लोग कुछ कर रहे हैं, एक वो चीज़। और दूसरा ये भी क्योंकि आप रिसर्च करते हो, फील्ड वर्क करते हो, जब आपने रूरल ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन की बात करी, गांव में जाते हो, तो आपको ये दिखता है कि गांव में ज़िंदगी बहुत कठिन है, बहुत सारे चैलेंजेस हैं, लेकिन लोग कर रहे हैं, लोग जूझ रहे हैं। जो लोग जब अपनी समस्याओं से, अपनी ज़िंदगी से जूझ के उसमें से कुछ मतलब निकाल रहे हैं और आगे का सोच रहे हैं, तो हम क्यों निराश हों?
सर लास्टली आप एक मैसेज देना चाहेंगे हमारे ऑडियंस को कि वाई दे शुड डोनेट देयर अमाउंट फॉर आवर प्रोजेक्ट विच इज़ और सोलर स्ट्रीट लाइट्स?
मेरा सबसे ये गुजारिश है, अपील है कि प्रयत्न के इस इनिशिएटिव को सपोर्ट करिए, किसी भी तरीके से सपोर्ट करिए। क्राउड फंडिंग, अगर आप फाइनेंशियल सपोर्ट कर सकते हैं, या आप शेयर करें इस न्यूज़ को अपने नेटवर्क्स में। वी हैव डिस्कस्ड स्ट्रीट लाइट्स आर वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। हम लोग दिल्ली शहर में या किसी भी शहर में रहते हैं तो उसको टेकन फॉर ग्रांटेड लेते हैं, लेकिन बहुत बहुत ज़रूरी है। और मैं ज़रूर कहूँगा कि अगर आपके पास पॉसिबिलिटी है कंट्रीब्यूट करने की, डोनेट करने की, तो प्रयत्न के इस इनिशिएटिव को सपोर्ट करें और कोशिश करें कि ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा गांव में प्रयत्न अपने सोलर स्ट्रीट लाइट्स लगा पाए, और उन गांव में ज़िंदगी कैसे बदल रही है महिलाओं की, बच्चों की, यूथ की लाइट लगाने से, वो डॉक्यूमेंट हम करेंगे और प्रयत्न करेगा, और आप भी देख सकते हो।
फॉर द नेक्स्ट पॉडकास्ट डोनेट विद द कैपेसिटी, एंड थैंक यू so much everyone for joining us for this podcast.